Hello everyone, and welcome to lesson 33 on intervals. Now an interval is very basically just the space between two notes, right? The distance between the first pitch and the second pitch. We'll go over some of these things, but I'll break it down some more for you. An interval in music is the distance in pitch between two notes. The interval is counted from the lower note to the higher one, with the lower note counted as 1. So right, if we're talking from C to D here, we start on C as 1. The next note would be D. And you know what? I count on my fingers sometimes. I don't think there's any shame in that, so you're welcome to do it too. So you can do that, especially if you need to be, if you're a visual person like I tend to be. You're welcome to do that so you can see it. All right? Intervals are named by the number of the upper notes, second and thirds, with two exceptions. The interval between notes that are identical is called a unison, also called a prime interval, and the interval of an eighth is called an octave. So, if the distance between a note is 2, we would call it a second. 3 would be a third. 4 is a fourth. The only two that aren't like that are if they're the same note, exactly the same, so like a C and a C, that's called unison or prime. And then if it's an octave apart, so we have a C below the staff to a C in the middle of the staff, same note, just different spacing, right? We call that an octave. Call it an octave. And you can see the octave over here. Sorry, it wasn't in the screen. So C below the staff to C on the staff. There's 8 notes between it. Call it an octave. And also think like the beginning and end of a scale, because that creates an octave too. Alright, intervals are called melodic intervals when they are sounded separately, and harmonic intervals when they are sounded together. So you can see here, these two notes are separated, so if we were playing the music, we would play a C for 2 beats and then a G for 2 beats. But this is a melodic fifth, right? It kind of creates a melody. You can think of it that way. The other option is harmonic intervals. Usually when we see notes stacked, that means we play them at the same time, right? So they're creating some kind of harmony because you're hearing them both together. So C and G, when they're stacked, harmonic. When they're separated, they're melodic. Okay? Even numbered intervals of seconds, fourths, sixths, and octaves are written from line to space or space to line. So that's a nice little trick, right? If you're writing a second, it goes line to space or space to line, depending on where you start. Odd intervals of unisons, thirds, fifths, and sevenths are written from line to line or space to space. So the odd ones, they go from either line to line or space to space. And you can see those examples there. All right. Here are the exercises. Let me zoom out so you can see it all, and then we can zoom in later if we need to. All right. Take a second, pause your video, do these. All right. And welcome back. Question 1 says to name the intervals. So we want to go distance from bottom to top. F to B, if you count on your fingers, F is 1, F, G, A, B. So this is a fourth. Right, some kind of a fourth. Right here, E to F, that's some kind of a second. B to G, B, C, D, E, F, G, some kind of a sixth. No shame to count. C to E, some kind of a third. A to A, right? So that's an octave. Right, so we'll write that out. C, T, A, V, E. D to A, some kind of a fifth. Same note, F to F, right? So this is a unison. And then B to A, right? So this is some kind of a seventh. You can count it out if you need to. All right, next question. Indicate whether the following are melodic or harmonic intervals. You either write an M or an H. These are separated, so melodic. Stacked, harmonic. Stacked, harmonic. Separated, melodic. Separated, melodic. Stacked, harmonic, and separated, melodic. Now, one quick note. For unison, if they are together, does it show you? Yeah, it does show you that. So up here, if they are touching, we call those harmonic unisons. And if there's space between them, which it doesn't show you that anywhere, but if there's space between them, we would call those melodic. Just so you know, that's important for a little bit later. All right, write the harmonic interval indicated above the following notes. We don't have that on here, so we're just going to make it up. Let's make the first one a third. So E would go to a G. And I'll write it down here so you can see. So we'll do a third there. Call that a fourth, So above this D, D, E, F, G, and they're harmonic, right? So they're stacked on top of each other. Let's do a seventh. D here, so D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Right. That would be a seventh. Let's do an octave, eighth or octave. So this is a B, put our B here. Notice the same note above it. How about a second? A to this next line would be a B. Now they're touching, right? That's important to see there. Let's go ahead and do our unison. So C, if they're harmonic, they're touching. We need a fifth. So G up to D. And then the last one we have in that is a sixth. So F, G, A, B, C, D. There we go. Right, so you can check those against, I'm sorry you didn't have those, but you can always practice them back and forth. So just use mine. You can cover it up if you need to. All right, if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. See y'all later.